Namaste, beloved ones. Welcome to your divine appointment. I am wisdom teacher 𝐟𝐸 𝐸𝐵𝐿.
And beaming you love from here in the heart of what feels like the universe. I am Master Lady Kira Raa, and Shri and I welcome you to this truly extraordinary moment for us all. And this evening, we're actually really grateful. We are sitting here at our brand new amphitheater. It will eventually be a full-blown amphitheater here at Toasted Blue Mountain. And we thought before we went any further this evening, why don't you bring a hand to your heart? And we're going to go ahead and this is on our computer. So we're going to go ahead and turn it.
Give you a little view.
But what you're staring at right now is the back of our brand new stage. And where you see these metal columns, that's going to be flames. And of course, you see the water coming down right now. And I'm going to turn and you can see down at the bottom there, the beautiful receptacle where the water, and this is 𝐬𝐵𝐿 water. This is from our moat. And you'll notice that as we turn the camera, all up above the stage here, people can stand. So we had quite a few people here. September 22nd, you may remember this was where everybody was dancing at the end. Look at our view. Is that extraordinary? Of course, the beautiful Pyramid of Peace. Here comes my husband. There he is. Shri, what are they staring at right now? There's our beautiful Maria.
Here, and we've got room for the dance festival in front.
Exactly. And remember that on September 22nd, we birthed the Ascension Renaissance. And now I've got to
check out this tree.
Okay, so I hope you all can hear me. But this tree, is this the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? I had to really be a lioness to preserve this tree. So this tree, you probably can't see it. This tree is very, very popular in Asia. As a matter of fact, we have a Kuan Yin Buddha of Compassion garden here made from a carved Kuan Yin of one of these trees that would have been much, much larger. And that came over from Thailand. This tree theoretically does not exist in this country, yet we have two of them. This one that was growing up from what must have been roots when we came in, and Shri and I for the past 7 years have been shepherding it, and one that is up on our moat that we offer during our moat tour. So right now, I wish we could, I don't know, Shri, can we capture the moon for them? Can we try?
Let's give it a try.
The moon just came out as we maybe turn a little more to this way. Hold on. We're trying to get you the moon. I don't think we're going to be able to, but I know that you can feel it, that you can feel what's happening right now as we are here. And I want you to just feel it, dancing, feel the dance of creation, feel yourself here, feel it as we are together. And what you're not seeing out here are the Andes Mountains and all of our beautiful little indigenous towns. And so welcome. We're going to complete our circuit. And
it's a beautiful summer evening here, and we look forward to sharing with you.
And look forward to manifesting with you next year when the Rainforest Renaissance births the much larger concert. And there's our beautiful Pyramid of Peace view. There we are, Shri, right on. Yeah. And the moon is actually right there, right out of camera. All right, my angels, welcome to our amphitheater that's in production right now. And two more things before we sit down. I'm going to run right over here. So surprise of surprises, and prayerfully the next time we're together, we have commissioned a 2.5 meter tall 4-armed Ganesha that is being built. And I'm going to run over and show you where it's going to
go. Okay. There she is, the remover of obstacles.
This is where our beautiful full color being crafted by our beautiful Edgar. And then in a few more months, come on
over on this side.
This is going to be, of course, the one, the only Lady Lakshmi.
Lakshmi.
We're so grateful that our beautiful local artisan Edgar, many of you have met Edgar. He is the beloved of Veronica, the two that started the dog rescue that we're now supporting, and we're very excited about Global Minga adding that to our projects. And so how beautiful to bring the blessings of our beloved universal experience of abundance and the law of instantaneous manifestation as crafted through a local Kanyari craftsman who actually brought his designs to Shri and I.
Yeah.
That's unification.
Yeah, that is mutual respect and contribution. And each
Yeah.
and every month that goes by, some new miracle appears, some new evidence of the flow that is upon this planet at this time. And we certainly, by being live with you today, we are respecting and acknowledging the divine miracles that we all share.
Yeah.
And let's pass it around, because miracles are your birthright, and they come in big and small packages, but they are
Exactly.
spectacular in any size.
They, in every size, right, Sri? I love that. And this evening is really a clarion call. And prayerfully, you're on our newsletter list and saw some of the information ahead of time, because as we are here, literally in the dance of creation, let us go back and remember how we opened this month in the dance of creation.
Yes.
By coming together. And this is why tonight, this beautiful amphitheater that we are currently raising funds to finish and cover is radiating out to the entire planet here at the center of the earth, in the shadow of the Pyramid of Peace, at a moment when all of the prophecies that were seeded, you rock, that were seeded into this potentiality for this moment right now are revealing. And what's also happening right now, and I know your heart is feeling the joy. We literally just heard fireworks go off as we're sharing that with you in the Valley.
They're
Welcome
very
to
popular
Latin
here.
America. And so what is so beautiful is that as we are here together right now, as we are in this moment of coming together, it is no accident your heart found yourself here. It is no accident, whether you are catching us live, whether you're catching us in a rebroadcast, we are wrapping in this moment of emergence itself. And knowing that whenever we reconnect here, that the energy of the violet flame of transformation is truly igniting the flow of the law of instantaneous manifestation through the receptivity and the availability of the prophetic information that was preceded should we arrive at this moment. In just a moment, we're going to bring our extraordinary, I'm just calling him our compadre because we're staring at the compadres mountains, right?
The musical
Right.
ministry of
Musical compadre. Yes, right. The musical ministry. I love it. Of Omachar. We're going to bring him in just a moment. And before we do, because in the celebratory moment of feeling the movement and the joy, we invite you right now to just bring your hands to your heart. Really bring your hands to your heart. Yeah, nourish yourself with the gift of this connection. And if it's safe to close your eyes, please do so. And in this moment, we're calling all of us. I want you to, in this moment, feel the unified field of all of us, because there are many, many, many who receive this video that are unable to be here live because of the worldwide time zone differences, but feel them all. Feel yourself right now, whenever you are connecting. If you are part of this live opening channel, if you are part of us in any other way, notice and hear the fireworks. We're even hearing night birds singing. Let's take one moment of silence and notice what you notice. Igniting that inner smile of divine mastery presence, opening up those eyes. What I am noticing is the rushing Amazon River and the night birds and the sense of all of you, every one of us in this unified field of the sea of neutrality, in the full embodiment of I am here. Bree, what are you noticing?
I am feeling the sounds that are inaudible. There is a cacophony of vibrational celebration going on, from the insects to the other wingeds to the little crickety things to this mala from the jungle. That all around us is the blessing of connectivity. What are you choosing to be connected to consciously? because we are all connected regardless of where you put your attention. And in the conscious connectivity, we expand the joy. We expand the respect. We expand the opportunity to serve the oneness through the individual interactions with the all.
So breathing that in right now, let's welcome our one and beloved, our compadre, the one, the beautiful Omashar. Welcome, Angel. It is such a gift to be with you.
My pleasure. I so feel that I'm there with you. It's amazing. Just feeling the pyramid, feeling the space, feeling the mountains, feeling the sounds, and how phenomenal is that? And let's get on, and I shall. We both spotlighted there, Kira.
We are. We're going to take our spotlight off, and let's make the spotlight for everyone. There you go.
Yay.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Wow.
That was fun.
Yes, indeed.
That I was dancing. I'm still having to stand. It was just you were definitely ensouling the energy of the the gift of abundant flow for all in a for me it was an ecstatic, almost an ecstatic trance dance. It felt very dervish like. So
Next time, let's have the split screen, because it's lovely to see you dance at the same time. I wouldn't say a split screen, let's say a joint screen.
okay.
Whatever the word.
And
Yes, a unified screen of divine
Thank you. Unified
luminescence.
screen. We can upgrade ourselves.
All the time, my
Absolutely.
angel, especially with our compadre, who
Right.
we'll with again later. Thank you for the grace of your presence with us this evening. It's always such a gift and a blessing.
Namaste.
Namaste, my angel.
Namaste.
Many blessings.
and a reminder for all of us that awakening is joyful.
Oh, always. And I actually have to take my headbands off. Forgive me. Even though I love them, right? Aren't they pretty? There is this energy this evening that is just so abundantly electric. And I really feel that's the word. And, you know, as we move forward into this moment, Shri, I just want to give us a moment to really go deeper. And Shri has a truly gift for us. And so, my love, thank you
All
for
right.
the grace.
Well, as we were preparing, I got a couple slides and things to share with you tonight. I ran across a beautiful declaration, a vision from Master Lady Kira Raa that came forth exactly 1 year ago. And it seems so timely to bring this forward and share it with you today. So let me put this on screen and I'll read it out loud. So this is called the potentiality of peace. And if you want to, just close your eyes and breathe in the truth of this vision. Imagine a world in this moment where those who are currently wondering if there will be a world to awaken to could lay their heads and rest. Imagine a world where all children are offered the gift of remembering who they are and why they are here. Imagine a world where the shared bounty of this truly miraculous planet is harvested with love, joy, and the appreciation of the gift that is patiently waiting for all to remember. Then, let go of imagining and invite the knowing. Know the world where peace is the foundation. Know the world where all children are nourished so that their wisdom may nourish us. Know the world of shared bounty and the recognition that with each breath we share equal space as one. Know Gaia as she was and has always been, radiant, glorious, aromatic, supportive, loving, generous, beautiful, and nourishing. For to know Gaia as you remember her. At the moment of the seeding of this extraordinary journey of conscious ascension is to remember and claim the truth of your mastery presence now. Let's take a breath. And we radiate the truth of that knowing out for all to remember.
Thank you. Notice what you're noticing. Notice what you're noticing. You know, in this moment right now, there's so much to share with you. And we have the books that we're going to be working with this evening. But before we go any further, because of the imminent up level, because of the moment that we have all been called into, this extraordinary cross of perfect balance, right, that we knew was coming, but we are at humanity's 12 o'clock moment. I want to very quickly just show you the ascended numerology one more time, because it's important to understand how we got to where we are right now. And so as you gaze at the ascended numerology, what you're noticing is that just this past week, when you look at October 14, that transformational new moon, that 0 point anchor, and this was for humanity itself, right? Came in on the 14th as humanity's 12 o'clock hour struck for the first time. I want you to really breathe that in. Struck for the first time. Then notice October 28 coming right up is this alchemical full moon. And that's why I'm looking up, and now it's completely gone again. We had this brilliant moment the minute we came on with you this evening, and now our sky is just still. It's filled with void creation energy. We have hit the 12 twice. Humanity is literally shaking you and saying, hey, now, not coming, not later. This is it. There is no more warm up. There is no more later kicking a can down the road. I mean, for some, that's going to be exactly their experience. However, what I can share with you is that second 12, when we hit that 12 again, that's like what's going to kick us, right? Until we go into the November experience. And I want you to gaze at what your physical body is going through right now, because this is really affecting everyone in many different ways. However, look at that 12, it's star consciousness, and it's star consciousness radiating all forms of the pyramid. It's like up here, if you look at the way I put it here on the body, you have the high aspect ratio pyramid with the equilateral pyramid of this density radiating out from an eye to an eye, the pyramid within the pyramid, the pyramid within the pyramid. We've been talking about this. We've been walking through this. Today, if you were on our email list, we sent you an invitation to reread the Lost Books of the Essene, Lesson 8. And it's important to recognize that a lot has happened since we were last together. And we had really prepared for that. We were moving through that together. We were unified in that. And I want you to remember one thing, that the battle for the dominion of your brain began a long time ago. But what matters is that regardless of how you feel you've been winning or losing a battle, you can lose as many battles as there are battles. But at the end of the day, with steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, you will win that war. Mm-hmm. And that's the war within. It's the war right now that is gripping at every single being on the planet. It is the war within that is saying, you know, it's the 12 o'clock hour, you know, it's right now, but there is this energy. And that is the moment we are at. We are at that moment where we have the blessing and the gift of the Lost Books of the Essene. And that in May 2009, Shri and I, the bodies that contain these formed awarenesses that are in with us now, we were very blessed to be able to sustain these bodies of form, to be here now, to unlock that, to remember that all of our divine brethren, oh my God, Shri, look up. I wish I could show you what we're seeing.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's
cloud.
almost like a ship formation just came
Yeah,
in. Maybe
yes.
Kyla will run out and get a picture. And so go look at this ship that's over us right now, Kyla, get a photo. And so in that informed awareness, as we are calling in the energy of all that I am as you are right now, I want you to remember that we are preparing for something that we have never done before. And the human mind is adapting to the harmonic frequency of unification to be able to receive the sustenance, the true nourishment of this energy. And so we're going to kind of flip what we were going to do this evening. And I really feel called to share with you a sneak preview. So far, Shri and Falling Snow Woman and Natasha are the only three that have seen this. But many of you know, for the past many weeks, I have been unable to be interfacing. And that is actually becoming a deeper That's why we're out here on our beautiful stage this evening. And what's been happening is sustaining I am here as the sea of neutrality at a moment when the voices of imbalance are really rocking those waves. And to be able to sustain that requires steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, and a relaxation and release into the guidance that comes from the ascended realms. And over the past several weeks, I've been in my own process and working through hearing the massive ascension event that we're going through right now that has already started. And this is a mass ascension event. And I want to bring you back to 2022. And Shri, can I share this story, please?
Please.
All right. So Shri's all snuggled in, right?
I'm here.
So snuggle in. So I want to bring you back to 2022. And the reason I want to do that is because in just a moment, I'm going to share with you something that has never happened in this potentiality before. And that is what the Sea of Neutrality has called forward for 2024, and the first view of what is already here now, which is why it's important to share it with you today. In 2022, Shri and I were very, very blessed to be co-creating with our dear friends in Israel, Dr. Shelley Ostroff and Jan Golding, and they live in Jerusalem. And what Shelley is creating, and her eco-governance model, and what she's bringing to the world, and our eagerness to prototype it here in Ecuador, is just unheard of. And Jan is a permaculture genius, and these are two of the most beautiful beings on the planet who stand for truly the gift of unity and love, and don't see anything other than the gift of people.
And the greater harmony that we can co-create.
Exactly. And Dr. Shelley Ostroff, go look her up. Anyway, we did reach out to them several weeks ago, and we were able to hear back from them. And right now they're safe, but we don't know much more about that. The reason I'm bringing that up to you right now is because Shelley has a very deep connection with the White Lions in South Africa. And when we were working with Shelley and Jan and working on these eco-governance experiences and Peace Week, this was in 2022. And during that time, as a matter of fact, it was the last time I ever sat on the phone with them, and they didn't know why. Nobody knew why until this moment. And that's why I'm sharing the story with you. We were in a deep connection. We were in a very deep visioning experience, and I was guiding everyone, and we were coming together. And I believe I've shared, those of you that have been with us before have heard this story before that. And to this moment, the only time that I like to call it a reverse ensoulment, meaning I was inside of a white lion body, and it was male. He was very, very, very old, and I believe in the dying process. And he might have had already transitioned, but he wanted me there in that moment. And in that moment, he showed me a potentiality, and I brought a piece of that into a graphic form. I sent it to Shelley and Jan, I gave it to Shri, and I put it away. And I never shared the rest of that vision. And I'm actually getting, like I'm having to breathe through sharing this with you for the first time. So give me a second. I actually need a sip of water. So just take a breath for me, would you? So when all that transpired, all the way from Jerusalem to Ecuador, Shelley sent me a deck of cards called this White Lion Leadership Cards. And this was 2022. And the first card that ever came out to me, I'm going to show it to you right now, is this one. And it's from what they call the Lion God suit. And is that gorgeous? Is that incredibly gorgeous? Look at that art. Is that crazy? Anyway, so you see that this is the griffin of the lion gods. And it was the only card I ever pulled, because I use the cards of clarity exclusively. And I have had it out since 2022 on my personal altar, where I have never pulled another card until today. Because this one felt so complete, and I was so guided that it was that this lion has been holding this energy should this moment arise. And so today, after many weeks of being with the ascended realms, and after 5 days of trying to bring a vision into form for 2024, that came forward. And before I go any further, I want you to bring your hands to your heart. And I want to first share with you, because this year there's 2, so this is one of 2. I want to share with you what you are staring at right now is if you would bring it up for Sri so we can see it. Here, how about we just do that? It's that one. Thank you. So what you're staring at right now, and it's really important to just give yourself a breath with, is what has just happened to the Sea of Neutrality. So go back, please, with all my heart and soul, I implore you, go back to your 2023 Mastery Planner, because this baby ain't done yet, right? We still have this final spiral we've just begun. But because of this 50,000-year cycle, because of the 10-year rapid up level, what you are staring at right now is how the STORM of 2023, how the storm through you, through the anchor ship of divine mastery presence, the first circle of 12, through the expansion of the yoga of self-ascension and the anchor ship of the energy of 𝐬𝐵𝐸 birthing the Ascension Renaissance, the shield of 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞 is like an explosion of light calling in the cross of perfect balance. And if you bring your eyes to the center there, you see there's like those 3 circles that are radiating out. Well, because the potentiality of those 3 circles, which are actually part of the 𝐸𝐵𝐸 symbol itself, the spiral universe, look at it, it's dancing. The whole spiral universe, the infinite presence. This was given to me when I reversed and sold into the white lion. And I have held it and added the shield of 𝐸𝐫𝐞 to it because of this moment right now. And so I think it's important to note the deep connection of the white lion energy into what's coming forward for all of humanity before we go any further.
And these white lions are truly magnificent lineage holders that are carrying such incredible wisdom and balance for Gaia, and that few recognize them, but they are truly powerful beings in form.
And before everything was happening, we had actually started trying to facilitate a visit to Africa to go see them. And I pray that we can navigate with Linda and still make that happen. So in that, I want to share with you that before I went any further, I was clearly guided that, and Sri, I'll let you hold the griffin. And I found it very fascinating that after all these years, I was told to go ahead and pick another card. And the one that came out was quite mind-blowing because it's Nefertiti, Princess Nebu, Nefertiti, also of the Lion God's card suit. And then I heard, but there was one more. And it was this beautiful one, the winged one, which is the one that I believe I ensouled into. And while I won't read you everything that these cards said, what I will share with you is that it made me cry, because we are at that moment where to be that lion coming out of the woods brings us right back again to the lost books of the Essene, way back when in 2009, when the 𝐬𝐵𝐸 came forward and said, remember who you are. As the sacred sequence of incarnation was starting to be remembered, as we were able to unwrap the sacred scrolls, as we were able to harness the divine presence of ascended numerology back into this potentiality. Celebration, celebration, celebration. So relaxing into what you just experienced, and you can certainly chat about it together, I want to share with you what's happening right now with 2024. So Sri, would you share that? So you were the first ones to see that, the Sea of Neutrality. But because of that, here's where we are. So before you are gazing at what is coming forward for humanity right now. So remember that we are currently in a year of experience. 2023 is a year of experience where the sands will determine, and we've been talking about this now since last November, right? That the sands will determine what happens in 2023. And these remaining months of 2023 are extraordinarily potent. However, I want you to notice what's happening, and you're the first ones to see this. And we'll be sharing a whole lot more about this in our upcoming November show. So hopefully you'll be there. 2024 is the cycle of alchemical choice. And because it will be, we are in right now the year of firsts. Everything that we are in is the first time. But I want you to look at this spiral, because here's what's really fascinating. Not only is it very specifically a blue spiral with golden light infused all over it, notice the spiral has this huge center that's open, right? Because everyone, 2024 is going to be the great spiral. It is the year of alchemical choice, and it will literally be, you will either be in the horizontal, right? And you look at the lateral of both the upward and the downward spiral. And if you look at both of them, what you see is that there's this huge layer, right? Most beings are going to be in that lateral loop in either spiral. It means they're not going to necessarily be going up, but they're not going down. They might be in that downward, but they're not going down anymore. They're like kind of locked into density. And when you gaze at that, the way that the spiral is revealing itself, you have those that are locked into density with this beautiful open chalice, right? You see how that is an open chalice energy that's saying, look, the sea of neutrality. You see the three rings again. You see that ignition of light, the spiral universe, the center of the cross of perfect balance, the shield of 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐿, the white lion universe stepping in from the cosmos. That is what is sustaining the lift. And very much people have talked about this as a twinning earth, but this is the lift that is holding such a giant power. It's like this beautiful, beautiful, you're gazing up in the chalice and all you see is beauty and the opportunity to lift, because it'll just be about living the gift of keeping your eyes on the divine at all times. And that's why I just want to really bring you into the consciousness of, go back and read at minimum Lost Books of the Essene, Book 8. And I remember in 2009, I remember when the first transcription was done and we started reading back some of that prophecy, because they normally don't offer prophecy. And I remember Sri and I having lots of conversations then about, wow, is this literal? What are they talking about? And now what I see is how loved we are to be so ready to be that huge, it's like a vacuum cleaner of light, right? That is able to keep our eyes on the divine at all times. That's what Mondays are about. That's what this tribe is about. That's what coming together is about. That's why we built all this, right? Because in this arc, and Tosa Blue Mountain is an arc, we're coming like our own little city lately, right? But right here at the center of the world, we say yes to emergence itself. We say yes to where we are all expanding. We say yes because we keep our eyes on the divine at all times. I am as you are. So let's take a moment and just bring one hand maybe to your solar plexus, one hand to your heart. Let's breathe. I'm going to go back just a little bit. Here we are. Got that? Yeah. And let's extend those arms out. If you can stand, great. If not, it's okay. Sri's demonstrating. Nice straight back if you're sitting. Underneath that left foot, go ahead and feel that beautiful white crystalline light tingling. Under your right foot, feel that beautiful golden light. Breathing that energy up both legs till they meet at the base of the spine. Spiraling all the way up and out the top of the head. letting the head just go back, the arms open, so our heart is just saying yes. And feel the radiance of this beautiful emerald light flooding into your heart, out your hands. Push those hands back like a beautiful Balinese dancer. Breathe in. I know we're breathing in beautiful, pure Andean air. Fill those lungs. Exhale. Smile. Scoop all that love and light. And receive, 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 receive. Relax your arms. Smile. And remember, I am as you are. You are worthy, or you wouldn't even be here. Let go of anything that would seek to stop you from what you truly are. Just breathe that in, because Sri is going to guide us on a journey through these extraordinary guides of the ascended realms that have asked us to unlock this information for you even further. But before we do, Sri, let's just take a moment of transition. Would you offer us that?
Absolutely.
I love you so much.
I am still feeling the rejuvenation, the regeneration that comes from this practice, the living Ankh. And it's a practice we invite you to work with frequently, to command the light, to restore you, to shift out of the hypnosis and into the consciousness of presence. It is so easy to be hypnotized. It's so easy to be distracted. It's so easy to be involved emotionally and detached from the truth of who you are. Because indeed, the journey of spiritual awakening is the journey of the soul. It is the journey of conscious acceptance, conscious love, conscious trust for that which is true. Your divine mastery presence is the truth of your being. And anything else that you identify with is a diversion meant to inform you, not to control you. And so these beautiful books that we have been guided to bring forward for this series of your mastery Mondays. See, I am Monday Mastery. I trust that many of you have gone and acquired your own copies of these books. We're going to just touch in with them briefly tonight, so to help emphasize some of the teachings and the wisdom that is contained herein. The Ascension Renaissance series that Kira and I brought forward last year. This particular paperback is perfect for you because it has 2 volumes in it. And what we have learned about human consciousness is don't make it too long. Make them digestible, because in the in-breath of the wisdom is the out-breath of the knowing. We breathe in the wisdom, we integrate it, and we breathe out the compassion of that integrated knowing. And so as we begin tonight, we're going to begin with the law of instantaneous manifestation that is found here in the Yoga of Self-Ascension, Ascension Renaissance book. And I'm only going to touch in with nuggets, little highlights, because I'm trusting that your guidance will guide you to expand and explore even further. So let me just offer to you what I feel will help bring us into further alignment with the law of instantaneous manifestation. You are an extraordinary blessing, the gift of consciousness in form now. So pause right there. Consciousness in form. When we recognize that we are light, that consciousness is light that has been infused into form, once that recognition really settles in, we begin to identify with a deeper truth of who we are. No longer are we allowing ourselves to be defined by the outer world's impressions. Instead, we begin to celebrate the gift of consciousness in form. So what does that mean? Authenticity, transparency, congruence, the truth of ascended consciousness. And as you collaborate with your divine mastery presence to allow your consciousness to lift, I'm referring to that vibrational upliftment that occurs naturally as we set aside the need to control, as we set aside the illusion of fear and relax into the truth of our true essence. Our consciousness, our vibration lifts, and we reawaken into energy awareness. Energy awareness, which is the birthplace of all holistic treatments. All valid holistic treatments work at the level of energy, which is the level of your authenticity. So continue for a moment. Accepting that we are more than this body, human consciousness is now ready to embrace a cosmic context. This invites expansion and the release of limitations. I'm now on page 14. So consider for a moment that as we release the limitations of ideas, concepts, dogma, and all of the impositions on our awareness, on our conscious brain, as we begin to release that, the potentiality of the truth of our being is released, and the yoga of self-ascension will then intersect and begin to offer nourishment for the truth of why you took birth. Now, for many people, this means you need to, quote, dive into the borderlands of sanity while releasing the mind from its profound grip on you. The moment we invite our divine mastery presence to fully enter into our body with conscious awareness, this is the moment of liberation. And this is the fuel for the journey that must continue while you are in form with steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. This is the journey of clearing away all of the egoic distractions and radiating ever greater potentiality of light and love into the shared experience. That is the offspring of the yoga of self-ascension. That is the truth of your divine nature. That is the reason we took birth, is to realize our truth while still here, while radiating that divinity into the world through service, joy, and mutual collaboration. So ask yourself, if the status quo of your spiritual explorations is assisting you to evolve into a greater sense of peace, love, and joy, are you ready to bring self-inquiry to bear and recognize that which is now ready to ascend into your experience? Because the law of instantaneous manifestation is here now because of the rise in consciousness. Now let's pause for a moment. Most everybody on a spiritual path and has touched the law of attraction, because the law of attraction was seeded into consciousness approximately 100 years ago. And the law of attraction is actually a lateral energy that reinforces egoic desires, greed, competition, and jealousy for the most part. It can be used in a more refined way, but this law works because of the ego's belief in lack. The ego believes I've got to call it in. It isn't already here. The ego believes I need to effort. I need to do something to get something. And so the law of attraction for most beings is used to acquire things in the name of the self. We offer this discernment to you so that you can understand more clearly that the law of instantaneous manifestation is the natural product of a level of attainment of your divine mastery presence. It's a vibrational truth. When we lift in our vibration, our entire context for the existence shifts. And many of you have noticed as your vibration lifts, you've changed jobs, you've changed friends, you've changed perhaps where you live, because vibrationally we need a new alignment. And the law of instantaneous manifestation is feedback that you have arrived at that potentiality of truth that is your divine mastery presence. As it begins to come on board ever more, we begin to manifest more easily because we are in the consciousness of the truth of our divine mastery presence. Your divine mastery presence is anchored here and now. And when you allow that to be known, all that is required for your life's journey will manifest without effort. Let that in, because this is the truth. When divine mastery presence is anchored here and now, all that is required for your life's journey will manifest without effort. What a blessing to be awake. Let's take a breath. We invite you to go deeper into this beautiful book and discover for yourselves that which is needed to propel you on your journey. Each and every time we touch a sacred text, each and every time we engage a book that contains truth, we reveal more because our consciousness lifts and is able to discern and notice more.
So before we go any further, I want you to just really take in a breath and be. And remember that in this moment of divine connection, everything that we're sharing with you, the Ascended Masters invited us to appropriately offer without any of us being aware of what density would be revealing day to day. The past several weeks since we have last been together have already shifted us forever in this potentiality. Imagine where we'll be the next time we come together. We have recently completed the 6 mystical initiations. If you have not yet, and we've been giggling with people, binge watched them, please go back and binge watch the 6 initiations. You should have your videos and all of your email links, and be sure to include the initiations. And you have all those links that have been sent to you in e-cards. And if you don't have those, if you're part of the monthly Global Mingus support team, which I pray you are, ask for them just by becoming part of that team, and we're happy to send them all to you. Send an email to Sue, support@selfascension.com. We can get you all the details. This is a moment where, as you're receiving the up level of the Ascension Renaissance, I go back again to that lesson 8 of the Lost Books of the Essene. Your dark ages will not look so dark if this cycle turns the way it's turning again. And to really go back and read that prophetic book, and every book in the Lost Books of the Essene, they're all free, they're all at our website. But they all point to the enlightenment. Book 5, the lion comes out of the woods. That's how I feel about where we're going next. And I really pray, can I grab the book for a second, Tree? And Tree's going to be guiding you through it in a moment, and we're going to be up-leveling some of this as well. But this was the Inspirations from Ancient Wisdom. It's an oldie but goodie that has 3 very powerful books in it. And we had invited those of you that were with us last time to actually read the first section. And if you didn't, no sweat. If you don't have the book, no worries. You might enjoy this more, though. You might want to go a little deeper by indulging and getting the books. They're all available, Kindle, Amazon, easy to get. As we go through this book this evening, this is one of those where I am here as the sea of neutrality. opening the greater receptivity to be truly available for the experience of the level of consciousness of the material being shared. So Shri is going to be guiding you, and then we're also going to be up-leveling. So those of you that have the book, similar when Shri was reading from Ascension Renaissance, when those of you that have the book, you might want to do what we do. We highlight, we write in the book. So, or if you have a Kindle, it has a fabulous feature where you can do that inside of Kindle as well. So Shri, thank you for guiding us through this moment. And we thank all of you. And what we're doing is building. We're building through the energy, and we're going to be bringing up that 2024 energy, because as we're sharing this with you, I want to reintroduce the star consciousness experience that's happening right now. So for the first time ever, and I mean ever, in this field of potentiality, we are the ones that are doing it. What you're staring at is the ascension star itself. And if you relax your eyes, and you might have to relax your eyes back a little bit, first notice this is a masculine and female sense. It's a blended energy. But more than masculine, feminine, it's really meant to be out and beyond all gender, and to show that unified field of the wisdom and all of the medicines and all of that coming together. And if you look at the bottom, it talks about the star consciousness infinite ignition, unifying the cosmic prime meridians as the masculine, feminine harmonized balance. It is, as I am, the harmonized balance within that is calling forward and sustaining the upward spiral, that is holding open that huge vacuum, that huge energy that says, hello, it's available, but only you can lift up into it. And how do you do that? Well, as you're gazing at this right now, what's happening as we're inviting you to engage with the Ascension Renaissance books, as we're inviting you to engage with where we're going to be going in the divine inspirations, it's to sustain this frequency. Remember that those two lines, those cosmic prime meridians, ignite when you're able to sustain fifth dimensional consciousness. And fifth dimensional consciousness is sustained when we hold the compassion for the self that stops the judgment of self, that limits our ability to receive. So let's just breathe that in and say thank you as Shri brings us into the divine inspirations.
So let's take a breath. The divine inspirations, what we're beginning with is At the Feet of the Master by Krishnamurti, the very first writing that he ever put forth. And this book, by just prefacing, this is a small book, is a foundational invitation,
Treasure.
to recognize we took birth to remember our spiritual truth. And it's very easy to be distracted by the worldly. And if we choose to walk the path of awakened consciousness, then there are some foundational pieces that we must commit to. And that this truth comes from mastery. This truth is demonstrated, modeled, and perpetuated because it is so. So let's begin.
And what page are we on, honey?
Page 6-7.
So those of you that have the book, we're on page 6-7.
4 qualifications there are for this pathway: discrimination, desirelessness, good conduct, love. What the Master has said to me on each of these, I will try to tell you. Part 1, discrimination. Discrimination between the real and the unreal, which leads you to enter the path.
Now I want to stop right there. And remember, we're
Powerful
not
text.
going to be reading the entire. So if you're sitting there going, oh my God, they're going to read it all. No.
No.
What we are doing though is up leveling those things. And I want to, Shri, would you just read that again one more time before we offer the up level? Just that's what you just read.
Yeah. Discrimination is between the real and the unreal, which will then lead you to enter the path.
It is ascended sanity or density consciousness. It is that moment where we become freed from the chains of density through our ability to forgive ourselves and sustain the inner smile that begins the journey. Breathe that in. Thank you.
You enter the spiritual path because you have learned that on it alone can be found those things that are worth gaining. People who do not know work to gain wealth and power, but these are at most for one life only, and therefore unreal.
So the beauty of your eternal nature is that informed awareness of your divine mastery presence while carrying this body of form outside of the limitations of that fear, doubt, and hesitancy that continually offer a cycle of self-sabotage.
He goes on to share that there are basically two kinds of people, those who know and those who do not know.
Now, I want you to sit right there and think about the word know. Capital letters. To know is to be outside of all fear, doubt, and hesitancy, period. One or the other.
And this knowledge is the thing that matters. What religion we hold, what race we belong to, these things are not important. The really important thing is this knowledge, the knowledge of God's plan for us. For God has a plan, and that plan is evolution.
So this is the essence of consciousness itself. And the evolution is to become aware of the conscious awareness of the experience and the choice that is eternally refining through the greater spiral, which is igniting right now.
So I'm now going to page 9. There's some talk now about the quality of the path and what will divert you. For you are God, and you will only what God wills. But you must dig deep down into yourself to find the God within you, to listen to his voice, which is your voice. Do not mistake your bodies for yourself, neither the physical body, nor the astral, nor the mental. Each one of them will pretend to be the self in order to gain what it wants. But you must know them all and know yourself as their master.
So let's breathe that in. And as you receive that, and as you're feeling and experiencing that, smile into that recognition of your limitless eternal nature. This is that moment where can you really accept your truth, the sacred sequence of incarnation. This is that moment, that experience of the yes that goes beyond all doubts.
So there's some discernments here, because discrimination is the title of this section.
And let us share that the word discrimination here is about self-discrimination, being able to
Discernment.
discern
Yeah.
would be the up-leveled word for that.
He goes on and shares here, the body is your animal, the horse upon which you ride.
Take this in, right? I mean, really get this. Ow,
Oops.
I hurt myself.
Therefore, you must treat it well, take good care of it. You must not overwork it, feed it properly on pure food and drink only, and keep it strictly clean always. But it must be you who controls the body, not it that controls you.
You are the commander. This body of form in this potentiality was seated with the capacity of 300 years, and in this moment, easily 120. However, it is only through the recognition that this responds to the divine mastery presence, informed awareness through conscious experience and the gift of choice.
Moving forward to another one of our possessions. The astral body, I'm on page 10 here. The astral body has its desires, dozens of them. It wants you to be angry, to say sharp words, to feel jealous, to be greedy for money, to envy other people, to yield yourself to depression. But you want none of these things. Therefore, you must discriminate between your wants and the wants of the astral body.
Now breathe that in, because what's so beautiful here is remember that at the end of the day, these three energies, jealousy, greed, and competition, are what lead to the solidification of fear and polarization. Jealousy, greed, and competition are incapable of being in a new world experience. How can you build anything in the new world if those energies come forward? So breathe in the knowing, right? Go back to that knowing, which they've talked about already, and start feeling that inner smile of illumination and recognition.
Your mental body wishes to think itself proudly separate, to think much of itself and less of others. Even when you have turned it away from worldly things, it still tries to calculate for self, to make you think of your own progress, instead of thinking of the master's work and helping others. You are not this mind, but it is yours to use. So here again, discrimination is necessary. You must watch unceasingly, or you will fail.
The four knowns. Go to 𝐟𝐸𝐵𝐾.com, walk up into our search engine and type in the four, use the number FOUR, don't put in four, the four knowns, it'll pop it up, read it.
He goes on to share that you must discriminate between the important and the unimportant, to see what is worth doing, and to remember that you must not judge by the size of a thing. To feed the poor is good and noble, useful work, yet to feed their souls is nobler and more useful than to feed their bodies.
Now, I want you to really feel the essence of this. And we're not going to share too much more from the book, but what we want you to really feel is your essence. What are we hearing here? This is 𝐼𝐸𝐴𝐵𝐾 101, right? Keep your eyes on the divine at all times. 4 steps of self-ascension. You've heard them over and over again. The divine mastery, presence, and formed awareness is why we are here. To be able to sustain this body of form with the conscious awareness of our mastery presence as the law of instantaneous manifestation at the 12 o'clock hour of this potentiality, where the ignition of the new world is now. We're one arc. I know there's more of them out there.
So one more piece here on the discrimination that I wish to share.
Yeah.
You must distinguish between truth and falsehood. For there are in this world many untrue thoughts, many foolish superstitions, and no one who is enslaved by them can make progress. Therefore, you must not hold a thought just because many other people hold it, nor because it has been believed for centuries, nor because it is written in some book which people think sacred. You must think of the matter for yourself. You who would walk upon the path must learn to think for yourself, for superstition is one of the greatest evils in the world.
Breathe that in.
One of the fetters that keeps you in untruth and locks you away from yourself.
You know, 𝐟𝐸, as the one who is truly bringing David Hawkins to the world, give us a moment about truth and falsehood.
Well, this was one of the brilliant pieces that David R. Hawkins brought forward in the 1990s in his book, Power versus Force.
Yeah.
And the essence of his intention was that humanity must find a means to determine truth from falsehood if it is to evolve. Otherwise, there will be endless cycles of war, competition, greed, etc. And that Hawkins' brilliance and his many books, I think there's about 18 of them, all refer to what he brought forward, his scale of consciousness, which is an arbitrary scale, but it is objective and independent. Just like a yardstick can talk in inches or meters, levels of consciousness from 0 to 1,000 is a way to have a conversation about the level of truth in any being or work or object.
We're gonna bring in the pyramid.
All right.
I'm feeling the pyramid. Keep going.
So the level of truth,
We're giving you a pyramid view. We're feeling a lot more coming, ensoulment, and so I think we need the pyramid. Here we
the
go.
level
sweetie.
of truth is not
I'll bring over your
determined
chair.
by the fervor of belief or the charisma of the one speaking. It is an objective radiation of the vibratory energy of that which is said or that which is shared. So the vibratory energy in Hawkins' work, it has a calibration scale. What's needed for today is to understand that there is a threshold on his scale of 0 to 1,000. At 500, it's called love. It is the vibration of love. And at 600 is the vibration of peace, which is this amazing pyramid, which radiates the harmonic frequency of peace out into the world. And truth, the higher the vibration, the greater light that is contained within the person or the writing or the object. And that's a higher order of truth. This can be tested through kinesiology independently. And this gives humanity an objective basis for saying, okay, what does this book calibrate at? Is it offering me a truth that will guide me on my path? Or is this yet another distraction that will keep me circulating in a zone of not trusting my inner heart and relying on an outer teaching to the detriment of my attainment? So there's nothing wrong with the book as long as the book carries a vibration that will lead you forward as opposed to circulate you for another motive.
And really look at how profoundly important all of this is, as it was just today, literally just today, that the 2024 pattern really concretized and how profound that we're together. And I'm absolutely confident it's because we're coming together, because all day we've had this extraordinary connection that this revelation has come forward for us all. And to remember that as the 2015 through 2021 Ascension Escalator shared with all of us, you cannot simultaneously be in fear or trust. And so imagine a world that allows us to trust a place where a pyramid of peace can be constructed in this potentiality right now, where you are keeping your eyes on the divine at all times. So let's go through a few more highlights, because there's just this moment of ensouled presence. And I'm going to try and get myself a little more comfy while she shares.
I'll just add that there is nothing we will offer you that calibrates below 500, nothing. And that this book itself is calibrated at 660, which is well into the zone of saintly information.
And that's before we up level it.
Yes. So I want to just bring back, because it seems timely for today in our world, that it is easy to become enslaved by superstition, which is another word for dogma. Okay. That no matter what is written in a book that is called sacred, you must determine for yourself the truth of the resonance of that teaching. And that those who would walk a path of awakening, of ascension, must practice thinking for yourself, because superstition would otherwise capture your consciousness. So you might ask, what would the master think about this? What would the master say or do in these circumstances? This is Halcyon's way of offering the mantra of self-ascension.
And it's also a way for you to practice multidimensional consciousness.
Yes.
When we are able to inquire through the practice of what would the master do, and be able to receive and notice the law of instantaneous manifestation coming forward in our lives, it's an ignition into the recognition of multiple potentialities and the ability to command this body of form, to be able to regenerate, reverse age, and to be part of the creation of the new world outside of all of that fear, jealousy, greed, and competition.
So this section about discernment, about discrimination, closes with these words. Learn to distinguish the God in everyone and everything. No matter how evil they may appear on the surface, you can help your brothers and sisters through that which you have in common with them, and that is the divine life. Learn how to arouse that in them. There is true service.
May we only ever see mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and beautiful beings knowing the blessing of this incredible informed experience here in this planet. It's outrageous, isn't it? And so there were two more sections in this, and part 2 was called desirelessness. And this is very much, the way that I like to look at desirelessness is the release of judgment. Desirelessness is when we release the judgment, because when we release judgment, we are able to ignite that ascension star and hold 7th dimensional frequency. Desirelessness, there's lots of fabulous things for you to discover inside of that. And I encourage you to highlight the way we have. But in this moment, we're going to just pick one jewel for you, and Shree's got it.
All right, I'm on page 17.
Magic of the 17, right?
He's saying you must repress the wish to meddle in other people's business. But here's the piece I underlined.
I like that one a lot.
That's my segue. What others do or say or believe is no affair of yours.
Ever.
And you must learn to let them absolutely alone. They have the full right to free thought and speech and action, so long as they do not interfere with anyone else. You yourself claim the freedom to do what you think proper, and you must allow the same freedom to others.
Now, this is really 𝐼𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐿 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿, is it not?
Yeah.
I'm immediately at the moment where when Sri Ramka asked 𝐼𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐿 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿, what is sin? Tell me about sin. And 𝐼𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐿 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿 just roaring and laughing and saying, if there is a sin, to use your words, it would be to interfere with the path of another, or to allow another to interfere with your path. And this is really what we're saying here.
This is the truth that is being reflected
There it
in
is.
this languaging.
The universal truths are the truths.
So we'll give you a very brief. The next section talks about good conduct. Well, good conduct will arise naturally from the degree of attainment of the first two, right?
Exactly.
And so the points of good conduct are as follows: self-control as to the mind, self-control in action, tolerance, cheerfulness, one-pointedness, and confidence.
Steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. Say it with me. I hope you're in the home saying it with me, right? Focused awareness, steadfast commitment, complete trust.
And one of the things that I enjoy in here, it's under the category of tolerance. I would choose a different word today, but let me read this one section. I'm on page 22. Yet you must not condemn others who still cling to ceremonies. Let them do as they will. However, they must not interfere with you who know the truth. They must not try to force upon you that which you have outgrown. Make allowance for everything. Be kindly towards everything.
Now, I want you to breathe that in. And as you do, I just, my heart, can you read that again to start over? Really listen to what's happening here before I share.
You must not condemn others who cling to ceremonies. Let them do as they will. However, they must not interfere with you who know the truth. They must not try to force upon you that which you have outgrown.
So breathe that in. And I want it, we earlier had reminded you, go back to your mastery planner, go back to your 2023 mastery planner and read specifically the predictions that were put out last year that specifically said, we are no longer at the time where the ceremony and the reverence must be given to Pachamama and Pachapapa. We are at the time where they must know we are here to support them, not ask them to support us. You are now the spiritual adult. You are rising up into your ascended mastery. You are standing outside of that loop of greed, jealousy, competition, and fear. You are empowered with that divine alignment, knowing I am as you are. And that as these spirals are opening, as the 2024 alchemical transformation is upon us, the conscious choice is upon all.
Mhm.
Right now, we are overlaying the experience choice, and it's going to be like this until you hit January when it's going to be choice.
Yes.
So it's a powerful moment.
There's a great respect in this writing. And he goes on and says, even though you no longer take part in certain ceremonies, respect them for the sake of the good souls to whom they are still important.
Exactly.
They have their place, they have their use. And honor what you know is true for you.
Keep your eyes on the divine at all times. Remember that if someone has more passion for their spiritual life than you have for yours, then you can never be anchored because you will always be swayed. That's that anchor ship. That's the knowing. The joy of knowing is the bounty of creating.
And I want to touch in for one more of the points under good conduct. He uses the word confidence. Unless there is perfect trust, there cannot be perfect flow of love and power.
There it is.
You must trust yourself. You say you know yourself too well, but you, the real you, are the spark of God's own fire.
Yes.
Trust yourselves.
What a beautiful place to culminate, right?
Yes.
I love that so much. And so let us trust ourselves now. And as we move forward, I'm really in a moment of feeling the divine blessing of the gathering of our connection, of the unified field. And Shri, would you guide us into the moment of the unified field? And as Shri does that, I'm going to share for you one more time the Ascension Star, because in this moment, what matters is not so much seeing Shri and I are the beautiful pyramid, but we're in the frame, but to really gaze at this unified field, to see the ignition. You see that beautiful golden ignition? That star that reflects as 5 points, because it's basically an ankh of eternal life, which is why we were doing the living ankh practice earlier to help get that flowing for you. When we breathe up from our third eye into our star consciousness, the crown of our ascended divine mastery presence ignites the brain of form into the receptivity, so that literally the synapses, and you might even feel it. I felt what felt like almost snapping in my head. There is this experience of electricity that is extraordinary. And a moment of awareness where that which would seek to stop you bows before that which it sees as you. And so as you're gazing at this right now, and as you're relaxing, and I would invite you to, I'm torn between standing and sitting, so I think I'll do a little bit of both. I'll lean. No, I won't. I think I'm gonna stand. So as you're in this moment right now, and you're offering yourself this gift of receiving, bring your hands to prayer position if you can, to your heart if you like. Relax your eyes. And as you relax your eyes, open up the inner eye. Notice the face that is already before you, that is inside, waiting. Notice what this face looks like. Notice if it has eyes. Notice if it has ears. Notice its color. But more importantly, notice the energy of this being that is before thee in this moment. Relax your hands, relax thyself, and illuminate the sacred heart of the eternal sun. Call forward the ignition from the center sun, calling forward to all the sea of neutrality, informed awareness. Calling forward all the aspects of all that I am and have ever been into this formed awareness of potentiality now. Notice your third chakra of the body of form. Notice a sense of noticing, warming you, enriching you, lifting you, nourishing you. Breathing up from that third chakra, bringing this energy to the heart. Breathe. Breathe. Scooping the breath into the chakra of illuminated truth. Open. Opening the chakra of illuminated truth. Notice the illumination. Notice the wind. Notice. Breathing this energy up into the third eye. Bring the two middle fingers to the third eye. Relaxing the hands over the rest of the skull. Gentle breath. Pulling away the mask of density. Opening the eyes into the sea of eternity. Calling forward the energy of divine cosmic illuminated presence. The ankh of eternal life opens, and the star of ascension is handed to thee to command again. Noticing this energy, it becomes two as it becomes one, as it moves, as it illuminates, and as it resonates. Breathing up, notice the energy of the radiation, igniting your cosmic prime meridians to expand, to become wider, to notice as they open an ignition, seeing all the fibers of potentialities. Lifting into the throat again. Closing the eyes, noticing the ankh of illuminated presence, and remembering before thee again the face. Whether you feel you see it or not, it is there. Notice if it has shifted, and notice how. For when all of the energy is called into this potentiality with the clarity of the divine presence within, the law of instantaneous manifestation, commanded through the energy of love, restores the balance and the harmonic frequency that sustains the all. You are all that has ever been and will ever be. The fear that would ever reside within thee is the greatest illusion and the barrier to the trust that relaxes into the love that remembers the eternal presence beyond any sense of limitation. You have arrived through the sacred sequence of incarnation into this potentiality because the moment of divine intersection has burst. It is as I am, as we are. The action before thee is as individual as it is collective. The spirals have ignited, and there is in this moment the experiential nature of choice that is birthing through that which you are as I am. How you move forward is the gift, and the collective voice is loud. And yet there are many, as there is one. Bring the energy into your heart. Receive the star. Learn how to be one as two, as one again. Beyond all perception of limitation is the limitlessness of creation. You are here to remember, know, flourish, and be. Let go of that which would ever resist, and be that which is ready to be.
When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. When the smile has left your face, and the tears roll down your cheeks, slow down, and breathe me in. When your river's running dry, to your knees. Slow down, and breathe me in. I am watching you, waiting for you to let my love into that lonely life of yours. Listen to me, and we can be together free eternally. When you're feeling out of touch, and you need someone to hold, slow down, and breathe me in. When your world seems upside down, and you think, what can I do? Slow down, and breathe me in. Slow down, and breathe me in.
Taking a conscious breath deep into the center of our being, we discover the presence that is eternal, energizing, and forever nourishing. Thank you, beloveds, for being with us. We offer an embrace of love to 𝐬𝐻 and to each and every one of you who has participated in this interactive. And we look forward to greeting you again in just 2 weeks' time. Love yourselves more, trust yourselves more, and know that all is truly well.